What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. Sometimes I'm able to do it, but there's a lot of nonsense out there. And I want to tell you a story about when I was in college. Yeah, somebody pulled some nonsense on me, and I was not able to make sense out of this nonsense because he was a magician in my dorm room. Now I'm thinking, why are you even in college if you're a magician? But maybe he just did it for fun. I don't know. But the guy came into my room and he takes his handkerchief and he takes it, lays it over top of his hand like such. And this is my prop, but he laid it over his hand like such. Then he takes his thumb, stuffs the handkerchief down into his thumb. Then when he releases it, the handkerchief's gone. He shows me both of his hands like such. Then he reaches down in his thumb and out comes the handkerchief. And I'm thinking to myself, how in the world did you do that? I know there's no such thing as magic, but I had to make it my mission to find this out. So I went through all my protocols. I'm like, all right, first of all, do you have a watch on? He took his watch off, did the trick again. I said, man, what about your sleeve? He took your shirt off. He's standing there with no shirt doing the trick. Now I'm going, wait a minute, are my eyes deceiving me? I couldn't let it go. Finally, he told me the secret to the trick. The secret to the trick is redirecting my attention away from the obvious. So what happened is he takes the handkerchief. He had a fake thumb just a little bit longer than his real thumb. Same color and everything. He would put that thumb down into his hand, take the handkerchief, lay it over his fist like this. Then he would take this thumb, stuff the handkerchief down into the thumb while also stuffing his thumb into the fake thumb. Then he would release. Now I'm looking for the handkerchief. I'm not realizing the difference in his thumb. Then he takes it, put it back in his hand, pulls the thumb off while pulling the handkerchief out. Now I'm saying, I can't believe I got fooled by such nonsense. Well, my concern is that a lot of Americans is being fooled by some nonsense in regards to this coronavirus thing. Now, what am I saying? I'm not going to blame President Trump for it because I think there's entities that are also trying to fool him as well and trying to cause him to overreact to the point that it ends up impacting his ability to get elected. But also a secondary motivation for them is a test run to see just how humans will react if they were afraid or if the country ever wanted to take away some of their freedoms right up under their nose when they're not looking. And thus, my analogy about the magician. So when it comes down to this lockdown, I don't know if I'm okay with it. Because I don't know if this epidemic or pandemic is large enough for a national lockdown. Now, I know that they scared the president into making that call and a lot of the governors. But what happens when you get some governors that really are secret fascists, secret dictators, secret socialists, all of that stuff, and they just want to abuse a situation? Now, people are more willing to accommodate the government lockdown if you redirect their attention away from the norm. If you bring in a factor like fear, folks will consciously or subconsciously surrender their freedom, in which in normal times they would be paying more attention. So if you want to get them to, say, give up guns, you just say, look, everybody, look at all these shootings that's taking place and your kids are in danger. Your kids are in danger. And the only way we can stop it is to do a national gun, buyback or something stupid like that. They take advantage of crisis because you're more likely to say, well, they're doing this for our good. They're trying to save our lives. I don't want to die. So what do we need to do? So when it comes down to the social distancing and locking us down, there's two things that concerns me. And I want you to listen to this. This young lady named Liz on OAN, she reported these cases. And I was a little concerned after I heard them. Let's take a listen.
In Cincinnati, Ohio, Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Dieters is charging people with felony assault for violating social distancing guidelines.
Wow.
In Colorado, a dad was arrested for playing t-ball in the park with his kid.
Just a little t-ball?
Even though there was nobody else around. And the police who handcuffed him and put him in the back of a patrol car in front of the man's 6-year-old daughter were not wearing masks or gloves themselves. In Los Angeles, California, police arrested a paddleboarder in the ocean all by himself. In Pennsylvania, police issued a citation for a woman for going for a drive to get out of her house amidst the isolation of the shelter-at-home order.
Okay.
In California, police are giving citations to people for watching the sunset in their own cars.
In your ride?
In Kentucky, a judge ordered residents who are refusing to quarantine to wear ankle monitors.
In
Port Isabel, Texas, residents are now prohibited from driving anywhere with more than 2 people in their car.
What?
How does a mom of 3 get groceries? Who knows? In Kansas City, police broke up a driving parade of elementary school teachers and school administrators, even though they were also all in their own vehicles. The mayor of Los Angeles promised rewards to snitches who rat on their neighbors for violating social distancing.
Now, you hear that? That's just probably a few cases of them trying to, quote unquote, enforce this social distancing and this national lockdown, which I'm a little concerned about. I know what they're trying to do. I think it should be a healthy suggestion when it comes down to making sure people do not spread this and all that stuff. However, people got the right to be dumb. That's all I'm saying. We see it every single day. If you want to risk your life climbing Mount Everest, don't get mad when you get froze up there. If you know the virus is around, as an adult, you make the choice if you want to go out and take the risk of getting the virus or not. That's on you. That's on you. And so my big concern is that they're trying to play Big Brother. Like, we're looking out for you. And because you're not able to make good choices, we're going to make them for you by telling you, get your butt in the house. Now, see, normally we wouldn't all just say, okay, I mean, I'm sure you guys mean the best. We're going to go ahead and stay home. And if you ever wanted to do a test run to see how that would work, you look at a chaotic situation like a virus. Then you implement a national lockdown and see how the people respond to it. Well, because this isn't, quote unquote, so obvious to people that, okay, we're kind of being forced to do this. You don't hear about these stories all the time in the news. You're like, okay, I'm gonna willfully do it. But these are cases where people wasn't doing it, and in my opinion, wasn't really out there risking their life or anybody else's, and yet they were forced to either get back in the crib or they were penalized for it, and that concerns me. So my first concern is that the government or some powerful entity would one day catch people slipping out of fear to cause them to go into the lockdown. The second thing is this. When it comes down to destroying or locking down businesses, this is something people need to be very aware of. The only thing that makes us remain a democracy is not our ability to vote. It ain't the fact that we all got guns and stuff, because I got a whole heap of those. What it is capitalism. It is the ability to earn your own money and your own living independent of the government. Therefore, you can make individual choices. You're sitting back saying, at the end of the day, the government doesn't control whether I eat, whether I sleep, where I go, what I do, how I earn my money, long as it's legal. But if, for example, something happened where the government was to take over all of your economic earning, now guess what that does? It makes everyone codependent on government. Now, if you don't believe me, look at the inner city and what they did to black folks. When they implemented social programs and flooded the inner city, a lot of those black folks got locked on and hooked on to all of those social programs, and they were pretty much held hostage to the Democratic Party to vote for them because the Democrats push that stuff. Democrats push a lot of capitalism. They don't like that stuff. They want to be in control of the companies. They love to see the fact that, well, I mean, since all the businesses are crashing and we giving money to them, let's come up with some rules to let us get our big, fat, crusty knuckles deep inside of capitalism so that people's living will be tied not to the independency of a job that they're working or a company, but to us. Now we can make the rules. The dog is not so quick to bite the owner that feeds him, but somebody strange walking the street, my dog's all the time. Yeah, but when it comes to me, they know at the end of the day, Kev is the hand that feeds them. Therefore, they're more loyal to me. And so we have to be very wise, eyes wide open, not allowing something to be slid in in the dark of night, or by the fact that we're distracted looking at other stuff, and they slide in some other plans for us as a society, and we one day wake up and realize, wow, we willfully surrendered our sovereignty. So people, just be aware, be aware. And the pushback when these things start to seem like they're being implemented is people speaking out. People saying, nah, man, I don't know if I'm okay with the amount of pressure y'all putting on us to stay in the crib, and how long you're trying to say, let's prolong this, because if you take away our ability to make a living, technically you take away our freedom, because the only way these businesses and capitalism will survive would be because of the government saying, we gonna do this for you, but what you gonna do for us? See, that's my thought. That's my take on it. That's my 2 cents and some. All right, God bless y'all. Don't forget to check me out every Wednesday night, 7:30 live in Kevin's Corner on Facebook, on YouTube, and my radio blog talk show. Hit like, hit share, hit subscribe, and the notification button on this video. Hear me? All right. And also, what else? Let me think. Did I miss something? Oh, check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. If you like something, put Kevin in a promo code. You get a 20% discount. And then if you want to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, feel free. There's a link in the bottom, since there's a famine in the land right about now anyway. You know what I'm saying? You got 2 nickels laying around somewhere. Hey, I'd appreciate it. Anyway, but God bless y'all, and we will see y'all next time at Kevin's Corner.